We're now, I believe, facing the greatest number of threats and the most complex threats since at least the Cold War, if not the end of World War II. The bottom line is American leadership is critically important for the world. If we don't provide it, no one else, no other country will.
What is needed is wisdom to avoid mistakes, to make wise political decisions, and that depends on an educated populace that cares about world affairs. The World Affairs Council movement in the United States was created in the 1920s, basically to combat isolationism. The United States had just failed to join the League of Nations, and there was concern, especially with World War II approaching, that we needed an engaged populace to support the United States in its new role as a world power.
100 years is just a tremendous amount of time, and for the World Affairs Council of Connecticut to have a front seat to everything that's happened since the Depression era, through World War II, through Vietnam, it's truly, truly significant.
One of the things that comes from engagement with the Council is a look at history through a prism, not just what's happening today, but to try and tie it back to events of the past and to make imaginative views of what the future will be.
What's essential for people to know about the World Affairs Council is we're a place for everybody. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to have studied international relations. You just have to care about what's happening in the world.
The World Affairs Council has very intellectually stimulating gatherings that it seeks to expose its members to contrary views as well, to reasoned debate, thoughtful discussion, respectful discussion, which is not always a feature of our times.
They understand what it means to bring people together. They know how to build a community that is enlightened with things that are going on around the globe.
So much of our economy, our country, and our state is based on international trade. It would be foolish not to learn as much as we can about the people with whom we deal.
One of the biggest impacts we have had over 100 years is our Model United Nations program. Since 1952, we have reached over 50,000 students around the state of Connecticut and empowered them to be our next generation of future leaders.
Not only do you learn about different world affairs topics, it really gives students an opportunity to learn how to collaborate with one another, to have serious conversations about foreign affairs topics, as well as, most importantly, in my opinion, learn how to compromise and present topics.
Our Model United Nations alumni have gone on to do wonderful things, working for the White House, working for the State Department, becoming engineers or doctors or community leaders.
The World Affairs Council was definitely a critical part of me deciding that I wanted to be an international affairs major in college.
About 8 years ago, we inaugurated our Global Security Forum, a conference held every single fall that attracts some of our world's most prominent thinkers in global security.
We also invite major speakers to come in to keep our members informed, to give them the chance to hear directly from those leaders.
We brought the world to this community.
We've had generals, we've had foreign leaders come in.
We've had the President of the United States speak. We've had ambassadors speak. We've had people who are in the know who will speak off the cuff.
We bring to people very intimate view, direct view of comments and thoughts of other people who are actually running one or more parts of the world.
The Council has had just tremendous impact on this community.
It's given me the opportunity to understand the world better. It's helped me to become a better humanitarian. That is not just about myself and the things that I do for myself, but it's about how the things that I do will affect other people.
100 years for an organization to continue to exist and to prosper is extraordinary.
To have survived, to have prospered, to have done such important work for a century is really an extraordinary milestone.
If our history tells us anything, it's that we have to be engaging in the world.
The World Affairs Council has been a non-partisan organization. The mission will always be relevant. It's been relevant since 1924. It's relevant today. And as we move forward, we're only going to become a more interconnected world.